Welcome back. This video is for page 373, the Lotus Eaters section of Book 9, where Odysseus is telling his stories of his adventures as he's trying to get home. Let's begin. The Lotus Eaters. I might have made it safely home that time, but as I came round Malea, the current took me out to sea, and from the north a fresh gale drove me on, past Cythera. So this is one of those times where he starts to explain, what is making him take so long to get home? The wind and the currents, everything is just working against him. 9 days I drifted on the teeming sea before dangerous high winds. Upon the 10th we came to the coastline of the Lotus Eaters, who live upon that flower. What are Lotus Eaters, and what does that mean, live upon that flower? So I always like to take a second and do a little bit of research here and check and make sure that everybody knows what lotus is. So if you look up lotus flower, you'll find some pictures. A little definition here says Nelumbu nucifera, also known as Indian lotus, sacred lotus, bean of India, Egyptian bean, or simply lotus. Basically, it's a water lily. You can picture a water lily. They're plants, they float kind of on top of water. The roots grow into the water. There's flowers. And if you look around, you'll see people also ask, what drug is in the lotus flower? Seems like an interesting question. And if you look at that, it says that the Egyptian water lily contains apomorphine and nuciferine. Basically, it is has a drug that makes you kind of happy and improves your motor function. We also read that he's meeting people who are lotus eaters. So I'm always curious, can you just eat this flower? Do people eat the flower? And if you look it up, it's really the root that people eat. It looks kind of like a long banana, and if you slice it, it makes these kind of like vegetable chips. So we don't have a lot more detail about what exactly people are eating, but watch and see how he describes their reaction to eating the flowers, and you'll see what kind of meaning he's intending. Where did we leave off? The lotus eaters who live upon that flower, right here. We landed there to take on water. All ships' companies mustered alongside for the midday meal. Then I sent out 2 picked men and a runner to learn what race of men that land sustained. They fell in, soon enough, with lotus eaters, who showed no will to do us harm, only offering the sweet lotus to our friends. But those who ate this honeyed plant, the lotus, never cared to report nor to return. They longed to stay forever, browsing on that native bloom, forgetful of their homeland. So we know that Odysseus' one main goal, his only focus right now, is to make it home and bring all his men home with him. But the men that he sent out to meet whoever lives on this island, they meet them and are like, ooh, this is pretty cool. I just want to stay here. I'm going to forget all about going home, which is a problem for Odysseus, clearly. So he says, I drove them, all 3 wailing, to the ships, tied them down under their rowing benches, and called the rest. All hands aboard. Come, clear the beach, and no one taste the lotus, or you lose your hope of home. Filing into their places by the rowlocks, my oarsmen dipped their long oars in the surf, and we moved out again on our seafaring. So he went and retrieved his men, forcefully tied them down under their rowing benches, called everybody back, and said, nope, we have to get home. We can't forget our goal. Let's get going. So think about what would have happened if Odysseus didn't take charge? What did he do to help his men? And what does this show about him? And that's it for the Lotus Eaters.